Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and another session for success stories. For every MBA, the dream of joining a top IIM is driven by ambition, hard work and the desire to learn from the very best. Among these institutions, Indian Institute of Management Bangalore has a specific place and established itself as a destination for future leaders, innovators and change makers. So today we have with us someone who has successfully converted Indian Institute of Management Bangalore and is here to share their journey with us. So in this session, we are going to discuss her preparation strategy, interview experience, challenges faced by her, and the lessons that helped them achieve this milestone. So without further ado, welcome Harshita. We are thrilled to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Abhilasha.
So before going forward, we would like to understand what is your background and can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
So I'm Harshita. I'm from Jaipur. Um, I did my UG from JCRC Jaipur. It's a Tier-3 college in Jaipur. I did my BTech in computer science from there. After which I worked as a data analyst for the past 3 years for PaperPal, and I prepared for CAT along with my job.
That's quite a thing because with work experience, balancing the preparation is quite tough though. So how did you like was MBA always the plan for you or did something trigger it since you're already working and I hope everything was going good and well, you're anyway earning. So how did you come up with the thought that I wanted to go for MBA?
So, I had always known that I wanted to do an MBA after getting like 2 to 3 years of work experience. So that wasn't a question. The question was how to prepare for it along with the job. So, um, yeah.
So how did the preparation strategy look like and how did you started preparation?
So I had a work from home job.
Okay.
So if there were like time slots in between the day where I did not have anything to do, I could study without anyone else finding out. So I used to do that during the lunch period, and I used to log off a little early to study after office. So most of my day went into studying, then office, then studying. There was no time for socializing.
But that must be quite hectic, no? But like throughout the day, you don't have anything else to do, your hobbies and all. It's fully packed with preparation and work, right? So,
Yeah, it was a bit hectic, and it there were point in my preparation where I was like, do I really want to do this? But it's fine. I had friends who I used to meet like not that frequently, but I used to meet them, and they used to make me realize that it's okay, it's for the greater good, etc.
very true. And so, see, you have successfully converted IIM Bangalore, one of the Holy Trinity. So, there comes my next question. So, when you started your preparation, was it like 1 year before or a 2 year before? And is it your first attempt or second attempt?
This is my second attempt. Um, I started preparation for my first attempt in January for CAT 2024, and that did not go well. I gave a few interviews, but I was not able to convert any of them. So I got the interview result of my previous attempt in mid-May, and I immediately started preparing again for the next attempt. So I prepared 6 months for this attempt.
That's nice. So, may I know like what is the score for your last attempt?
So in my
Percentile for
last, yeah, in my last attempt, I got 96.55 percentile, but my VARC sectional was 74.82.
and
So
this
I get calls.
and this year
This year, I got 98.8 percentile.
and sectional you have cleared this year,
Sectional.
right? Yeah, that's nice. So, how did your preparation look like? Was since you have already prepared for the CAT and you have done all the revision part will be done, and so this time did you focus mostly on mocks or did you start from the scratch?
Yeah, no. So since my VARC sectional was a bit on the lower end previous time, I focused more on VARC. So I only got time to prepare for two subjects in a day. I could not do three because of office. So what I used to do is one day it would be VARC and DILR, one day it would be VARC and QA. so that VARC was always in touch. And mostly what I did was accumulate question banks and just solve them. So, for example, VARC, I practiced from GMAT Club. DILR, there's a YouTube channel called Aptitude Jab. I prepared from that. And QA, there was a lot of question bank anyways for QA, so I prepared for that. Yeah.
Since you mentioned like VRC was your weakest section, so how did you plan your strategy? Like, since you mentioned like one day you'll do VA and LRDI, VRC and LRDI. So, how is the preparation looks like? Did you plan any strategy like I go R for the RC first because there are long, short, all sort of genres of RCs are there, right? So, how did it look like?
So, for VARC specifically, like I mentioned, the GMAT Club website, right? It had RCs sorted by their genres as well as their difficulty level. So, something that a teacher suggested to me was that solve 50 RC each of each genre so that you know which genre are you struggling with. And when you solve 50 RCs, you'll also know which type of questions you struggle with. So then you can practice them more instead of general practicing. So this is something I did for VARC.
True, true, very nice though. But so now comes to the question about the mock. So how many mocks in total have you given and which test series you have taken?
See, I don't know the number of mocks I gave, but I started preparing in May and I gave mocks every Saturday and Sunday. And towards the end, I gave mocks. I took a 15-day leave from my office and I gave mocks every day. But I did not give any in the last week because I wanted to stay clear-headed. So I think I
So
must have given more than 30.
so if you can recall, was it more like sectional mocks or full-fledged mocks?
When I did not have any time to give full-fledged, I used to give sectional. Otherwise, or if I wanted to uh, attempt only one particular section, then I gave sectional. Otherwise, it was usually full length because I needed to be get habituated to the 2 hour sitting window. That's it.
Okay. So now comes to the D day, the exam day for CAT. So how does the exam day look like? Did you go with the same approach which you have applied in mock, or did you change any strategy in between? Because there are a lot of exceptions happen on the D day.
Yeah, so exam day, I was not able to apply a lot of strategies. VARC was, I don't know how it went at that time because you can never know for VARC.
True.
So I was already underconfident. And then DILR, I don't know if you've heard or not. DILR was a groundbreaking section this time. So I could not attempt more than one um, set, and I lost all of my confidence. And I was almost about to cry, and then QA started, and I was like, "What's the point of attempting it? I'll just leave." But I still somehow stayed, and I remember that my brain was fogged, but I still attempted QA because like I'm not allowed to get out, so might as well just attempt QA. So yeah.
So maybe no, like since you mentioned you got 98.2 percentile, what is your sectional percentile in each?
So in VARC it's around 96. In DILR it's 87, and in QA it's 99.8.
So indeed, a progress from your last attempt, though. It's quite good. Though there are students who feel underconfident when they're going for CAT or XAT for that matter, since they also targeting. And for a person who is from the BTech background, it's quite difficult. They had to get that 96 plus or 99 plus percentile to get into a good B school. So my question is, uh, just a second. Yeah. So, since you have converted and did you prepare for any other exam as well apart from CAT? Like XAT, SNAP, and others are there, right? NMET and all. So, was it focused only on CAT?
No, no, I also gave that. These are the two exams that I gave, but I did not really prepare for that. I looked a little bit at this DM, but I did not prepare a lot for that.
Okay. So, your main focus was on CAT only.
Yeah, but I did get call from XLRA.
Okay. You have given XAT as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, since there is a gap between CAT exam and XAT exam, did you change anything for that? Because that is a completely different thing. You have to give your GK questions is there, and then an essay is also there. So, what is your percentile in that?
In that, I got 99.5 percentile. I think it was
Okay.
because I was stressed about it.
And how did you change anything like in your approach when you're going for that?
Yeah, I prepared decision making because it's not present in CAT.
Yeah.
Secondly, I gave a few mocks to understand how I need to shift the mindset because that is also a longer paper than CAT. CAT is only 2 hours. So I gave a few mocks. I understood that this is how I need to attempt, this is how I need to shift because there is no sectional timings as well.
Yes.
So after a few mocks, I was able to adjust my brain towards that, and yeah, that was
It's
enough
good.
for that.
So now you got your percentile and your results are out. So how did you start thinking about the WET and PI process of all the B schools?
So I had given my SPJN interview. It was my first interview. It was on 5th of February, and it did not go well. I was out by the first round. So I remember I had met a friend who had also given CAT. He had told me about PrepBee. I did not really think a lot about that time, but I asked him what was this website that you were mentioning and everything. So I also joined PrepBee AYN, and after I'm very happy to say that after I joined, I converted all the interviews.
That's really nice. So how did it help and how like basically how did it help you in your preparation for specifically for WET and PI?
So one thing that I did not know was that so much of preparation goes in VAT and PI as well. I thought CAT was the main part, and this is just cakewalk. But when I saw the introduction video, I think it mentioned that these are the things that you should know. These are the things, HR questions and your geography questions and politics questions and business reads and all of those things. I had no idea that all of this needs to be prepared. And then what I did was there was a task, I think there was a task section in which they mentioned VAT and everything. So I used to practice that every day and I used to practice HR questions. And there was also a geography sheet, PDF for your country, your city and your state. I did that. Apart from that, I looked at the dossiers because I'm from an analytics background, so I need to know everything
Yeah.
about analytics. So I looked at the dossier, and there were special sessions as well for uh, statistics. I think that
Okay.
and yeah, all of these things combined helped me a lot in that process.
So since you mentioned it, the preparation, they gave you basically the structure, how to structure it,
Yeah,
and you can see. So did you felt any measurable difference in your confidence in terms of your personality after joining AYN? And when you go to interviews, do you feel more confident compared to your experience since you've already given?
yeah. So the thing is that after joining AYN, I knew the domains that could have questions, and I knew I had prepared some sort of an answer, if not complete answer, I had prepared some sort of an answer for all of them possible questions. So that really helped me because I knew that I'd prepared. Up until that point, I did not know how bad I was. But after joining AYN, I knew that these are the questions that I need to prepare. And I think the questions they provided were more than what you need to prepare. So you were sorted in that way.
Yeah, true. Because you never know what sort of question can come in
Yeah.
interview. So now comes to the next question. How was your interview experience look like? Like when you went for, since it is we are doing this for IIM Bangalore, I must know that you have converted other calls as well. So what are the calls that you had?
So I had all the calls except for A, C, and M. I mean, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, and Mumbai.
That's quite nice. Congratulations though for converting IIM Bangalore. So
Thank you.
we'll go to the interview experience first. So How is your how many panels were there and what sort of questions they really asked?
For Bangalore, there were two panelists, and since the program that I was shortlisted for was PGP BA, which is Business Analytics,
Yeah.
my questions were mostly stats heavy. And I had did a diploma from IIT Madras in statistics and data science, so they were even more deep. They went deep into statistics, and they were laughing at all of my answers. And my interview also went only for 16 minutes, so I was sure that I'm not going to convert it. I came out and I told my parents that I'm done, but thankfully I did.
That's really nice. So, which convert was more surprising for you? Like, since you have converted, I will think almost all the all the colleges that are there for MBA. So, which one was more surprising for you?
Bangalore itself. Every other place I knew that eventually I'll convert, even if not in first list. But Bangalore, I had no idea. I was hoping that I would, but I was almost sure that I won't.
So, once your GDPI went on, and when you got the results, the offer letter specifically, when you saw the email, so how does your day look like? How did you tell your parents? What was their expectation? How did the day looks like?
I got the email at around 5:30 in the evening, and I just logged off my office immediately. And I came down to my room, my parents' room, and I told them. And mom started crying. Dad was too happy. He was calling everyone. My mom was calling everyone. My brother was calling his friends. So yeah, everyone was calling everyone we knew to tell this.
That's really sweet. So, how now that you have got all the colleges, I know IIM Bangalore, obviously it's the best among all of them. So, how did you decide between the colleges? Because still Indore is there, Shillong is there. So, how did you decide it?
So for me, it was like first preference is obviously Bangalore. If that does not happen, then it would be Kozhikode, or XLRI. And then if these three don't happen, then I would think about perhaps Lucknow and Indore and Shillong, or maybe re-attempting again.
Did you have any parameters in place, like on the basis of which you decided, like, I wanted to go for Bangalore?
I mean, Bangalore is Bangalore, ABC, so no other parameters needed.
True, 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 very true. So, before stepping into B school, I know you are currently in IIM Bangalore only, but before stepping into it, so what do you have any specialization in mind since you're going for BA? But do you want it to change and go for some other role going forward?
So the thing is that here, this the only difference that BA makes is in the fourth trimester. All the other trimesters are same, and your the opportunities are also the same. So there is no big difference. The only difference is the fourth trimester. And as far as now, I've not really thought about the specialization. I'm open to all opportunities. Maybe I'll explore them more after my SIP to see which is the field that I really liked.
That's really nice. So now come the question like since you're going for BA as a specialization, like since it's MBA in BA, so did you go for any went for any certificate courses? Though you have a data analytics background, but there are a lot of new technology coming in place, AI and all in Power BI and Tableau. So did you went for any certificates and any courses?
Not me personally, no, because I did all of this for 3 years, and I also did a diploma in data science. So I had a background already running for this. But if anyone wants to, I'm sure there are few YouTube channels on YouTube which you can pursue for this to learn data science and data exploration.
I have one last question. Did you wanted to give any advice to the aspirants who are going for IIM Bangalore and who wants to join IIM Bangalore next year? And one more thing, when you give advice, was it like did you wanted to change something in your preparation strategy? So that also you can mention.
Um, my advice to IIM Bangalore aspirants would be that this is the place to be. It's called the place to be for a reason. You'll come here and you'll realize why it's called that way. And For preparation strategy, I think everyone has different
Different.
strategies and everyone changes those strategies in every 15 days. You learn what mistakes you made and you revise those strategies. So there is no particular thing that you can stick to. What I would say is that be consistent. Even if you change strategies, be consistent. Don't leave studies. And if everyone lapses, just don't relapse.
It's really
That's
nice. Thank you. Thank you, Harshita, for taking the time to share your journey with us and being very honest with us. I hope that your experiences, insights, and learnings will undoubtedly help many aspirants who are going for IIM Bangalore next year and who are working towards their dream. So, to everyone who are watching and who are going to watch this video, remember that every successful journey begins with a clear goal, consistent effort, and the willingness to learn from every challenges along the way. So, if you found this session valuable, don't forget to like and share with those who really need it. Thank you. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you, Harshita.
Thank you, Abhilasha.